At first you're kind of sad about it, but you reflect back on his life of 99 years of what he meant, bringing integrity and hope and the love of Christ to the world. And you know, it's sad, but yet in the same time, it's a time of celebrating his life and all the good that he did. Well, he touched the world, and he touched our city as well. And so just, you know, the fact of what he brought to the world, the goodness, the faith, the hope, it just, I think it impacted us all. I think Dr. Graham has impacted all the ministers, and especially ministers today like myself that are on television. I mean, he pioneered the way, you know, years ago when I was a little boy growing up in a preacher's kid's home, watching Dr. Graham on television. And you know, he opened so many doors like that, and just the goodwill he brought to America. He helped us all, and especially people of faith like myself.
What are you going to miss the most about him? Can you talk to us a little bit about your interactions with him, your experience with having met the man?
Yeah, I was very honored that he invited me up to his home in Victoria to spend some time with him several times, and just he was so gracious. He didn't want to talk about him, he wanted to talk about me, and of course I wanted to learn more about him, but he just turned it around and talked about the big church we have and all that, and just it so impressed me that what a humble man he was, how gracious he was. I was able to go and pray with his wife Ruth. She was in another room before she passed, and just he lived a simple life, preached a simple message, but yet he had a profound impact. And so I think just the strength of knowing he was alive was you know, warm on the inside. But now that he's gone, I feel like he's finished his race, and it's time for all of us to step up and carry on his legacy.
Pack it, you know, fill the seeds. Did you learn anything from him over the years?
Yeah, I learned just even some things indirectly. His faithfulness, his dedication, his staying on course, staying with his message, not getting sidetracked. I think his integrity and finishing his course, that made a big difference. I think too, you know, just watching him communicate, watching his style, him being loving and for people. I mean, he was fiery, but I think he was so for people. And some of those one-on-one times that we had together, he shared some stuff with me, and just more personal things, but just very rewarding. And he was willing to, you know, share of himself and pour into other ministers.
You know, a lot of people, like in my generation, when you hear Billy Graham, you know the name, but you don't necessarily know the impact. So can you just speak to our viewers for a moment, just about what people should remember about him and why it's important that we honor his legacy? Yeah,
well, it's important to honor those that have served faithfully all these years, and him bringing the message of Christ to America and really the world. I mean, I think it impacted all of us, especially people of faith, but even if you don't have faith and you weren't raised like me, I believe he still brought goodwill and caused people to live to a higher standard. And so, you know, he affected the world for good, and he did it you know, selfishly. He was, you know, that was hard back then, traveling and holding those crusades and taking the fire that he did, the criticism, but yet he stayed the course. And so the world's a better place because of Dr. Graham.
Do you?
No, I don't think it would be the same, because he had too big of an impact back there. He made such a difference and changed so many hearts. And even simple things. I've read where he's the first one that started what we call an altar call, to have people come down that want to receive Christ. And so, you know, we do that now, and we did that all growing up, but I believe he was one of the ones that really made that popular, to take a stand for your faith. So there's so many things like that. And again, I keep going back to his integrity, his faithfulness, his dedication. I mean, that speaks volumes to go, you know, 99 years, or to finish out his course, you know, with joy and with faithfulness.
Last question to you. You kind of referred to him as your own rock star when you were growing up or over the years. Did you look up to him? What was it?
Yeah.
Are we blowing that out of proportion, or did you look up to him and say, "Wow, this is somebody who's leading a movement"?
No, I did. He would be a hero. My father was a minister, and my hero, and Billy Graham would have been one of my heroes. Just watching him on television as a little boy, and you know, getting to see him a couple of times in person, and then, you know, of course, being able to meet him. But yeah, he would be an inspiration. I guess I call him a hero, but definitely an inspiration, and somebody that I would aspire to have those, not to try to be like him, but to have those characters of integrity and faithfulness, and to finish the course.